Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Talk and Sip. And today we're going to be discussing a pressing issue that will affect every Nigeria come 2026. It's not any other topic but the new tax reforms signed into law by the president. And of course, I'm not here alone. I'm here with my amazing host, Come.
Hi guys, welcome to another episode and we are excited to be back on set. Like my co-host said, today's topic is it has been on everybody's lips for the longest and we had to bring a finance professional on set to tell us more about this new tax reform, what like the benefit it will have on us Nigerians in 2026, and we have Mr. Ode on set.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. So in the simplest term, what exactly is this new tax reform about?
Okay, so in simplest terms,
Yes.
the tax reform was or is an initiative of the government to try to simplify the tax remittance process for every Nigerian to be able to become taxable, or those Nigerians that are qualified to be taxable to be able to remit their taxes easily. So before now, we had several acts, right?
Yes.
We call them several acts of government. There were 4 in number, but it has now been consolidated into one, or more like collapsed into one. So first of all, what you observe with the new tax bill is you are no longer going to be hearing of FIRS or the state's IRS, which is the
Yes.
Internal Revenue Services for the
Yes.
states. You now have a national body or one body that is responsible for all of this tax, and that's what we call the Nigerian Revenue Service, NRS. So basically, in layman terms, what you earn, you collect your money and you have to give something to the government. So, and we don't have a very good tax culture. And if we remember very well, I know a lot of us, a lot of times campaign just comes and passes, but I remember very well the current occupier of the presidency said that we need to bring more people into the tax net. So I believe this is all geared towards that promise, or his campaign promise.
Okay. So I have another question. Why is this new tax bill generating so much public opinion?
So, first of all, you have to look at the literacy level of the country.
The country.
I wish I can quote a figure from the UN that tells us, but we know they say how many Nigerians are out of school children. So, first of all, you look at the literacy level. So, that's number one. Then, secondly, you look at the culture, the tax culture in the country, right? It's one of the lowest in the world.
Yes.
I can even say if you go and sample data from African countries, their tax culture is quite better than us. So it's understandable that Nigerians will question, because what you're not used to, you're definitely going to ask questions and you're going to make wrong postulations. You're going to hear. So if you just go to the streets now, if you're standing with someone that most likely just asked a question and they told him this is how it is, he did not understand everything, and you that have never heard of it, you are now asking him and he now tells you. So the information, it starts getting distorted. So we are going to just spread a lot of information that may not be true or maybe half truths and all of that. So of course those controversies is normal. And then you look at the economy generally, people are already scared. So the money I'm earning, it's the value of our naira as it is. Are they now going to be taken away from me and all of that? And a lot of people we're not used to paying taxes. And majorly, you now hear that they are bringing more people into the tax net. So let's go. They said even down to what you call OS, right? People standing on the streets, right, are going to be paying taxes. So
you mean the Agberos?
No.
OS, you know what is
Okay,
OS. So I don't want to go through
Yes.
too vulgar, but we know what it is. But people that that sell intimacy, right?
Yes.
Transactional.
So let's just call it.
So of course, you know what I mean. So it has been said that even people that do prostitute, people, ladies that stand on Allen Avenue, will pay taxes. So the government are setting up modalities. I want to believe more modern systems to be able to track taxes.
Okay, so I have a question, and that's from the part of you said something about OS. So like if the government is going to be collecting tax from people like that, does that mean it is now being legalized in the country?
So now when they say that, does not mean they are giving. So even I use that, even the Yahoo boys, right? Now what it means is every income coming into your account must be explained. That's just what it means. So you must explain your source of income. Even they classify virtual assets. Now, a lot of people hide their money through cryptocurrencies and all of that. Now they've now opened it to the point where that will be taxed. And I will explain. So people if you have crypto in your wallet, right? You have a crypto that maybe you bought for $100K, right? You keep it in your wallet and you don't trade with it. No tax on it. But at a point where, let's say, crypto rises to $300K, you now trade, you're going to pay tax on the $200K gain you've made. Do you understand? They call it is it capital foreign exchange gain. Now, but if you sell it at a loss, you're not going to pay any because you did not make any gain.
Any profits.
If you leave it in your wallet without trading, it's there. You're not going to pay tax because it's unrealized gain. So I'm just trying to tell you that they call that virtual assets. There are other things too that are called virtual assets, like mining and all of that. So they've broadened the tax net. That's just what it means. So what it means is every income must be explained. And how will they know? Whether you have 50 bank accounts, it is linked by your BVN. So banks have been empowered, even fintechs. Commercial banks and fintechs have been empowered to flag any accounts that there are sums of money coming in and the taxes being remitted on those accounts does not commensurate with the figures coming in. So what it means is at any point you can be called and you make an explanation.
Explain.
In fact, they can go ahead to maybe just block your account and you go to the bank and the bank will tell you that
Explain.
it's FIRS or EFCC that is looking for you or something. So you need to go and explain yourself. So that's basically what.
So, sir, that means the whole process of whereby they've been telling us to link our NIN, link BigVN, is it like a process that has been happening like for this new?
No, so
system?
this is like capitalizing on that system to make this work. So I remember BVN started, if I'm not too wrong, during the Goodluck Jonathan's regime and all of that. So that's when all of that started. But if the government want NIN and all of that, because this NIN is also going to play a key role in this thing, right? It's going to be used as your tax IDs for people that don't yet have tax IDs for you to be able to get that. So the government does that's where they have your data already. So of course they are going to use that because that's what links anything money in the country, BVN, right? So they're going to use that to be able to track down a lot of things.
Okay, so I have a question now. For people that have dollar accounts and the rest, are these still going to be taxed?
So when you say dollar accounts, right? Your dollar accounts, you are owning dollar accounts in the country.
Yes.
Of course, that's when I use the word virtual assets and I use $100K, you'll be taxed. As long as you are making money inside this country, even if you live overseas, right? You have a business running here that makes you money, especially people that do bureau de change, right? Maybe somebody is out there. You know, sometimes we do that. Somebody is out there. You're telling the person, I want to sell. I need this. So the person will now say, credit my Naira account, and then I will give you dollar. I will send dollar to you. What you have done, that person that is doing that business there will be taxed on that money that is exchanging. Okay. Before now, there was nothing like that.
Okay, so you said something about the tax ID. And you said it will be generated from the NIN, isn't it? So what about some people that already have ID, probably from their place of work? Do they need to generate?
No, you don't need to generate again. So what it means is if you want to go and now get... So let me explain. Even personal income tax, first of all, if you don't have an incorporated business, right? You know, some people are doing businesses, but they did not incorporate the business. Your personal income, your personal tax ID will be used to remit your taxes. But if you have an incorporated business, your business is an artificial person. So usually when you register a business with currently when you register a business with the CAC, it comes with a tax ID automatically, your TIN number. What you are now meant to do is to go and link that TIN number to your tax profile, right? Okay. Now for people that don't have, so you don't have, and you fall under that category of taxable persons. And I'll explain what taxable persons mean in the course of this. You fall under the category of taxable. You must, else you fine up to even jail term. You're right. You must get a tax ID. So how do you now go about it? You go and they will ask for your NIN and all of that, and a tax ID will be created for you.
Okay. So speaking about this tax, because definitely if you check online, everybody is just saying different things, and then some people are scared because it's like
Yeah.
deducting from
Like I'm
the little that
earning
they are
and you want
earning.
to
Do you understand? You want
deduct
to take
from
more
it.
from it. So speaking of that, is it like this tax thing, is it like a new one or it's an improvised one? I don't know if you understand. Like, is it like a percentage that we used to be taking? Like, is it increased?
So it's an improved so they've made the system they try to simplify the system. Now I'll give an example. Before, tax relief was for people that's 300,000 in terms of threshold that you don't pay tax. Now they've taken it up to 800,000. Do you understand? So let me explain now. There are several things to note with the new tax reform act that wasn't obtainable
old one.
before. First of
Okay.
all, you are paying zero VAT or zero tax on certain essentials, which is
Okay.
foods, medicine, I think transport and education. So those are not, you are not paying taxes on them. So ideally, that's if the sellers of these items do not increase their prices, then it means you should be buying those things lesser. You should, right? But the government will tell you for sure that it's going to drop. But economic permutations will tell you ceteris paribus, right? So all things being equal, that's it. So that's one thing to note. Secondly, you have a threshold. The first threshold is your income is assessed on a yearly basis, although you earn on a monthly basis, but it's on a yearly basis. So anybody that earns 800k below will not pay a dime
Oh,
as tax.
okay.
Now, how do you understand?
Why did you say
So
that?
if you do the calculation, 800k below is around 66,000 thereabout, right? So it means anybody earning that amount will not. So I think what they've tried to do is people, I don't know the minds of the people that earn, but obviously they don't want you that's not earning up to the minimum paying
wage.
tax. So now every amount on top of
The minimum wage.
on top of the 800,000 will now be taxed. Let me
Okay.
explain. So if you're not earning 800 if you're not earning 900,000 naira in a year, it doesn't mean they are not taxing the whole of the 900,000. They are taxing from the 100k on top of that 800k. So let me give out the percentage. I hope I'm able to explain, because it starts from 0% to 25%. The maximum you can pay for tax is 25%. So 0% for people earning 800k below. 801.
That 800k below is annually.
Yes, annually.
Okay.
This is assessed annually. So, but of course, you remit your taxes on a monthly basis. However, when you go to file returns at the end of the year, and these are the things they will check, and they can raise the penalty for you, right? So now, when you now earn 800,000 naira, not 801,000, 800,000 naira to 3 million naira, you pay 15% on top of that extra earning after the 800. So you are paying 15% of 1 naira.
And what does it like? What was it before? Is it 15%?
No, it wasn't. So the threshold increased. Before it started from 300,000. Now it has gone to 800,000. I can't pick out all the figures. I'm more interested about the current figures now, because that's what all of us are preparing towards now.
Okay.
So from where did I stop? 15%, right?
15%.
So for 3 million 1 naira to that's 18%. 3 million 1 naira to the next threshold. I think that should be 15 million or so, or 12 million naira. Now, from that 12, that's 18%. From 12 million 1 naira to 25 million naira, that's 21%. Right? So at the highest, anything after 50 million naira is 25%. So of course, that's what. So what it has done is to try to make it very favorable. So you don't. We call it the payee system. That's the Nigerian tax system, is the pay, where we say pay as you earn. So in essence, what that system means is nobody is going to be. So you that is earning more should pay more. You that earns less should pay less. Because if they say everybody should pay 25% of their income, 25% of 500k or sorry, of 1 million naira is the weight is going to be more than 25% of somebody earning 50 million naira. So,
Okay, so
that's basically
the
what
the
it is.
government is trying to be
Yeah,
considerate.
so if you look at it now,
Is that being considerate?
yes, and then there is something called, I don't know if this you're going to ask this question at the in, but let me just say there is something called, it's funny, they call it tax evasion and tax avoidance. So tax evasion is a crime. Tax avoidance is not a crime. You're going to now. I know you. So you might be
Yes, I want to
surprised.
hear that.
Yeah, so tax evasion means you are running from paying tax.
From paying tax.
Okay.
And you do several practices, either willfully running, hiding your money,
Okay.
do all of those things,
Yes.
right? From paying tax. That one you can go to jail. In fact, abroad, a lot of people have they call it suspended jail term. You see prominent figures. Sometimes it's not because they willfully did that. Maybe the accounting system wasn't so robust that they could not. So
Remove
sometimes
the
they give them
tax.
fines and now give them suspended jail term, right? So, but tax avoidance is looking at those legal deductions or those legal permissible ways that the law provides that, okay, you can use this method if you don't want to pay tax. These are the things. If you don't want to pay this tax after deducting this amount, and mostly it comes under employee expenses, like things like National Housing Fund, National Insurance Scheme.
Okay.
So when you've made all of these deductions before you now pay tax on the money remaining. So, and especially for people working in people that are freelancers,
Freelance.
maybe they may not understand the effects of this for them, because at the end of the day you realize that some people are not pensionable because, or they don't pay their pension because they work for themselves, they do business themselves, right? So now if you're working for a company, the company makes all of these deductions from your gross earnings and then pays you your net and makes these remittances. So it has helped to reduce your tax obligation. Now, let me use rent, for example. So the law provides that as a deductible, you can get up to 20% relief on rent. You can deduct up to 20% of your earnings and pay as rent. So what that has helped you do is, if you're earning 3 million naira a year, right? You now remove 20% of 3 million naira. If somebody can help us do the maths, I think it's around 500k, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah,
600.
600k, right? No, so you cannot get the 600k. So the law provides up to 20%, but not more than 500k. And I believe why the law did it this way is people that are earning big money cannot say, if they say 20%, I can claim that
can't-
my rent is this. I can.
Yes.
So you cannot get more than that amount. So you that your rent is 1.5 million naira, I think that amount should be around 300k if you do 20%. So those are ways you can now use to reduce your tax liability. However, before, the previous provision just says you can just take 20% and keep to yourself. But now you must go and make those remittances and provide proof that you are paying your pension, you're remitting your national housing fund, and then even for mortgages. But you cannot pay rent and mortgage. You cannot claim rent and mortgage at the same time, because if you're saying you're renting, then where are you paying mortgage to?
too.
And the mortgage can also not be more than 500. Interest on mortgage cannot be more than 500%. 500k. The government will not allow you. So those are ways you can use to reduce your liabilities when you make this deductible. They call it employee expenses.
Okay.
So is that the avoided tax?
So that's tax avoidance, not tax evasion. Tax evasion is, I'm not paying tax, or you are willfully reducing the money you are earning
Okay.
so that you don't pay tax. However, it's going to be more difficult now. And the major advice to give out to people there is, you need to keep your invoices and receipts intact, right? Because they can just call you from the tax office now. You need to provide explanation. This sum of money always coming into your account with no description, and especially when the money is consistent. So let's say the money is coming at intervals every month end, right? And maybe it's an allowance, is a girlfriend allowance or is a wife allowance, and they are not tagging it that way. They might think it's a salary. And then some people also go to their companies and say, accountants, add this person to the payroll. The person is not working there, so you are sending money to this person, and it is not it's not meant to be, supposed to be an allowance, Abi.
Yes.
But you're not sending it to the person. So those kind of money, so separate your personal account from your business account. It helps very, very well.
Okay, so I think you kind of answered, but now there are so many rules now, but like, how do they track? Oh, this person is not paying tax. That person is not paying tax. Like, how do they track it?
So first of all, what we do currently, what is obtainable currently is where you work at the beginning of the year, they file what is called annual returns.
Okay.
And the annual returns is a schedule that states these are the workers that are taxable, this is what is they are earning, and this is what is being remitted on their behalf, right?
Yes.
Now the law has now given the Nigerian Revenue Service the mandate or the powers to now use BVN, working in collaboration with banks and all of that, to be able to track. So when they ask you for a proof, you need to come and prove it. That, oh, okay, you say your tax is 1.5 in a month, right? And from your bank statement, we are seeing different money entry. Right? You need to come and prove it. It's you that has to prove it. That's why we say now you need. So our advice: somebody is sending money to you, it should be well labeled. Right? If you're sending allowance to your mom, I think I'm also guilty of things like that. When you're sending to people that are your dependents, label those money well. If it's a gift, you write gift. If it's an allowance, you write allowance. So
in the description, you have to identify.
So identify it properly, of course, so that when those kind of things come, you can actually defend it and show proof, right?
Okay, so
and then where it's business money, there should be invoices and receipts to back that up. You cannot just claim that is this one that is business money, this one is not business. So let there be invoices and receipts to back them up.
Okay, so another question is, well, I call it a question, yes, because they said the new tax is to help the citizen or to develop the country. Because looking at the current situation of the country, the economical situation, in fact, every part of the country is having issue. Let me put it that way. The economy is not good. The money doesn't have value. And here we are talking about enforcing tax on the citizen when the money doesn't even have value itself.
And people don't how would that benefit to pay tax?
Exactly. People are not earning enough to pay tax. Imagine somebody earning lesser than 200 and the person is paying house rent of how much? And here we had saying that the person must pay it.
When you say 200, you mean 200 annually or monthly?
Monthly. It's lesser than 200.
Sir, in this economy.
No, so that's why.
Because if you look at it, the 1,000 naira self cannot even take you on transport through and through.
Okay, so me, I'm not here to defend the government.
Yeah.
First of all, let's use transport that you used. And I think I like your choice of word that the government said it should
help.
Right? I don't know where you got the quote from, but if it says it should, but the word it should is probable, right? Is probable, it's not a certainty. So first of all, what the government did, right? And I'll point out something later, is they say zero tax or zero VAT on basics. And you can see transport is there.
But from my salary, you're deducting it.
No,
you're not deducting from
you're
transport.
not deducting. So what I mean is, let's leave transport now, because so where you observe now is things like, I want to see how that affects both. If you take your boat receipt, you see the right tax there, right?
Mm-hmm.
If that works, I don't think you should be taxed on those kind of services.
They cannot even tax me.
No, both like tax. You are paying VAT.
No, I know I'm paying VAT. I mean, you can't tax me. Like, it's not right for you to be taxing me on those things.
Government
why you are deducting it from my salary?
No, you are not getting. So this is where you are not getting it.
So I think we need to understand
what government is saying.
Okay.
Currently, you are paying that tax,
and we don't know.
You know now. You don't check your boat receipt now.
No, I don't know.
So go and check your boat receipt. You are paying
money
VAT.
And that's
if you go to a restaurant to eat, they add VAT to your receipt.
Yes.
So government is saying from 2026, those essentials, or they will list some of those things that are tax exempt, and they listed things like foods, medical services, right? Medical drugs and all of that. So in their own estimation, that is a way to cushion the effects on the common man.
Why did they not remove it from house rent too?
From house rent.
Yes.
That's why they say you can claim relief. 20%. And I called, when I was talking about tax avoidance, you can claim up to 20% and help you to reduce your tax burden. Do you understand? So that's why sometimes.
But the landlord will not do that.
The landlord. No, nothing concerns you with your landlord in this case. Your money. Now, if you go to
But
the
sir, you
tax
said
body,
something. Sorry to cut you. You said something about like landlords too will be paying tax, isn't it? They are earning the money from the tenant. So if they are paying tax, definitely landlords will want to
did I say
deduct.
anything about landlord? I'm getting confused.
Okay, sorry, I heard it.
So
Okay,
so-
but what I heard is that even landlords
Mhm.
will be paying tax.
No, you can't. So
Are the tenants then?
so that's, I think you are delving into something. Maybe you are talking of insurance policies on public buildings. That's a different thing. We're not going to that now. But what I said and what I want you to understand, listen with an open mind, is we are not coming from the angle of let's criticize the government. We want to understand what this
What
law
the tax?
is,
Yeah,
right?
reform.
So, but if you come from the angle of, I understand our minds as Nigerians. If you come from that angle, you may not understand, because whether you like it or not, you must pay. You can't fight government. So understand to pay than understand to criticize. You are not a human rights activist. So government has said on essentials, which is food, medical. Now, and I've explained in layman terms, you go to buy food, you go to buy groceries from the supermarket.
You see VAT,
right?
restaurants,
Yes,
VAT.
those things are qualified as groceries, not soap from supermarket.
Mhm.
Those are fashion items. So you might see on your and I think people can do this when you go to supermarket from the 1st of January. Let's see the extent of implementation, because government might have made a pronouncement. Some supermarkets will not adhere to it immediately, maybe until they start finding them. So when you take your receipt, if the VAT rate is XYZ percent, times it and see if they overcharged you and all of those things. So you know if to the extent of implementation. So what government has done now is, instead of paying tax on 300,000 naira, they now say we've taken it up
to 800.
At least I think from there they looked at the inflation, 300k and 800k now. Maybe it's the same, or you'll be surprised 300k of before is even bigger than 800k. So they've tried their own best. Now to the core of your question, or to your main question, which is how does it? They said it should improve the lives of the citizens. It should. That's what it should be. But Nigeria defies all forms of logic, in the sense that how do we address systemic corruption? First of all, the government wants to collect this money, but how we are going to see this is in social welfare for the citizens. If you have access to basic amenities, running water, right, you're paying tax and all of that.
Right.
That's what we should have. But I understand our gross. The economy is on a decline.
And mortgage too.
You get, the economy is on a decline. Houses, rent are skyrocketing and all of that. And then the government is saying you should pay tax. So that's left for the citizens to fight for their rights. If the government don't keep to their own part of the bargain. But it is said that every responsible citizen must pay tax. And as long as you are taxable, you must get your tax ID on the 1st of January if you do not have, and you must remit your appropriate tax, so that you don't find yourself imagine, because they said they can go as far as blocking your account. You may not be able to access loans. Imagine you go to prison for tax. And it's you know how it is in Nigeria. It will look funny to you. Somebody calls you.
That situation.
You call somebody, you are not hearing from the person for 3 months. The person now come and say, I've been going to prison.
Yes.
You get. So those are the things.
Okay, so I don't know if it's just me, but I just feel like this is just another way for politicians to share more money or get more money.
So that's why I said, if the issue of systemic corruption is not addressed, it's not in our power. We are not the EFCC, neither are we the ICPC. We are not the police. We are not the court, right?
Yes.
We are just citizens. And
citizens that wants the best for the others too.
So I don't know if we all want the best. Let's not lie to ourselves. They say when corruption favors
you,
and when it doesn't favor you, it's corruption, right? So let's just talk from the angle where we are seated.
Yes.
We don't make the law. They made this law to us. We maybe because in my field we now try to understand this law and teach other people. If they make a new reform in other sector, in the health sector, you're going to find other people who are skilled in that field coming to advise us. So where you say the politicians, the truth is, I feel this is also, they said they want to make the system easy for you to remit your taxes. right? It's now more rather than manual work where we are going to file with paper, go to the office, want to do these things online. And I feel using technology to fight corruption is actually the first way to start, right? Because it means people can see,
It's transparent.
yes, it's a little bit transparent and all of that. So
Okay.
we'll leave that to them.
Yes. Okay. So now for very small business owners, like maybe a suya man by the roadside, is he going to be taxed?
Of course,
How?
it's going to be taxed.
How will they tax Suyama?
That's what I'm saying. Every business is, as long as you're earning an income, the only reason he's taxable, so he must get a tax ID.
Okay.
The only person that doesn't need a tax ID is if you are not taxable. If you are not taxable, and
But so how would they tax people like that? Okay, let's assume, you know, some of this malam that sell pepper and the likes, like the quantity itself is not even up to the other ones. I don't even understand. So how will you tax people like that that's selling?
when you say quantity, you
Like,
are,
I mean, their market is not that big.
and so that's why there is a threshold of 800,000.
800,000.
So when you
So
earn
how
your
would they
money-
now do that calculation?
How would they now do
Okay.
the
Okay. Wait.
calculation?
So are you saying we should open multiple accounts and just share the account? Okay, you put this amount of money in this account, put this amount of money in that account, so that we don't.
You know, you have BVN.
Oh.
If you like, have 1 million accounts. The government say BVN was used to consolidate all your accounts, right?
Yes.
Bank accounts into one. So whether you have money here, you have money there, government is seeing it. If you like, have PAMPay, Money Pay, OPay, all of them. Government is seeing it when they want to see it, and that's why you say
I will not link any of them.
bank.
I'll go and use Kolo.
So you can't. So you can't have a bank account that cannot be linked. Now the danger of using code. let me tell you. Hope you know. Imagine they flagged out a currency and they are looking at the number.
They
You
are
know,
looking at the
sometimes
number.
the day you are not ready, you carry your money. I
To
tell you,
the
this
bank.
money is no longer legal tender.
But
and all of that.
sir, you know that with this situation now, most market women, they will first fight against. When I mean fight against is that instead of you transferring money, because some of them are not collecting transfer, they will not want to collect transfer again. They will be requesting for cash.
So I've looked at that, right? I've looked at that, but the government, you can't fight the government. The
Yeah.
government can cause an artificial cash crunch, right? Where there is no cash in the market. You know what happened earlier on. If the government wants to withdraw every money from the market, they know how they will do it. There are several ways they can introduce new currencies.
Yes, like
Just
what
to
they
ensure
did.
that you comply. Do you understand? They can ensure that as you are going to the bank to deposit money, that money is not going out and all of that. So at the end of the day, you can't fight the government. You just need to comply. That's just the truth of the matter. And the good thing with the tax is you're not paying tax as the same amount as someone that is paying earning a big amount
Higher
of
than
money.
you.
That's why.
person has the money, sir.
No, you don't understand my point.
Because
Say you are
even
not
with the
paying-
small money that other people are earning, we call it small. When I say now, you said from 100,000, isn't it? That's when it to be taxed.
800,000.
No, like
Annual.
I'm talking about annually. So for somebody to reach 800,000, how much will the person be earning annually? I mean, per month.
66,006 naira. So
Okay.
if you are earning 800k, if you do the division by 12, you're going to get around 66,000.6666.
Okay, so
you
60
need to be earning around maybe 67 or 67.
So I'm
points. You
earning
get-
60, assuming I'm earning 67, as you mentioned, and then you are removing how many percent?
Your tax will be so minimal. Now let me give you an
15%.
example. Let me give you an
So
example.
is it not 15%?
You want
I
us to
think
do
that's
the
annually.
calculation?
Yes,
yeah?
yes.
Let's
because
do
I
a
think we should do the
calculation.
Wait, is it 15% annually or monthly?
On that total amount. Now, so
No, sir, is
what-
it 15% annually or monthly?
your tax is remit. So when you are earning, let me give you this. Let me show you what is your tax is 15% you would have paid, right?
Annually or monthly?
Annually on that amount.
15%.
But that annually is broken. That 15, the total sum of that
It's broken
15%
for
is
the
broken
month.
down into months.
months. That's 12 months.
Do you get my point? It's broken down into 12 months. So we use annually because they assess it on an annual basis. But now you are not going to wait. What you need to understand, I know where your question is going. You are not going to wait till December when you have
December,
calculated
then
that
I-
this is all the money. What if you have
They
chopped the
paid
money
it.
finish? Where will you pay it from? So you are going to pay. So what it means is if your salary
Mm-hmm,
is 66,000 naira,
mm-hmm.
let's actually do the 800k so that we'll understand. 800,000 divided by 12, right?
Yes.
This is what you are earning. So now let's take it up to let's now say 801, right? 801. You are paying 15% on 1 naira for the whole year. That's what do you understand? You are paying 15% on that 1 naira. So 1 naira times 15%. 0.15 kobo. I don't know where you're going to get that kobo from, but that is what it means. So, but let's use a more practical figure. Let's use a practical figure. Let's say you earn 1.2 million naira.
Yes, okay.
In the year.
Because,
you're going to be taxed on 400,000 naira on this amount, barring any
they'll remove 400,000 naira.
You're going to be taxed on 400,000 naira.
Okay, I understand.
So now let's say you did not do any deductible, you did not claim any rent, this thing. Now 400,000 naira times 15% is 60,000 naira of your tax for the whole year. Now divide that by 12. You are paying 5,000 naira monthly as your tax.
That's somebody's salary, Sha.
But now you understand the point. So where the fear have come that they're just collecting the whole money. That's what
I'm earning 100k.
You get.
I will not be paying 5k.
No,
5,000.
Well, you are earning 100k, you won't pay up to 5,000. I think we just did this. 1.2 is 120,000 naira a month. So now the problem really is for people that are self-employed. Freelancers.
Yeah, freelancers.
How do they do these things? Now, you can go and you can walk into the FIRS and go and file your taxes yourself, or you go on their portal. I'm using FIRS. It's going to be called Nigerian Revenue Service from January, and do your filings yourself. It's meant to be easy. That's easy. Yes.
I think we've taken longer time on this conversation. So, and definitely, I know that a lot of us have more questions and to ask. So, to round this up, I would like you to just can you just give us some practical steps that people need to take to prepare themselves ahead the January 2026?
Okay, so practically, first of all, know if you are taxable or not. And taxable means you are earning an income, whether salaried income or business income. If you are earning that income, you are taxable, right? Now, you are liable to pay taxes every month if you earn up to the given threshold, or if you earn above 800,000 naira for the year. So how do you know that? So if you want to go on a monthly basis, every month when you earn 66,000, when you don't earn up to 67,000, know that.
Okay, so
you are
I
not
think
liable to pay tax for that month.
to cut you. I think the question is, it's because I don't want us to go back to repeat what have been said. So it's just like tell them what to do to prepare ahead. Like maybe you need to get your tax ID, you need to do this, you need to do that. Like just explain too much.
So before that, I want to know, is this tax? Is it going to be deducted automatically, like from your bank? You just wake up one morning, they have deducted the tax, or what exactly?
No, you go and pay your tax.
Okay.
The bank does not have the right to
deduct. Say that would be invasion of privacy.
That's for you. The bank can only inform tax bodies that this account and all of that, and that's not for them. So there is always what is called self-assessment. So you assess yourself and know this is what I'm meant to pay, and you go and remit your taxes yourself. And if you are not remitting, the tax bodies know what to do to get you to come and remit your tax, or to face the music of the law.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
thank you very much for the insight so far, and to round it up, and we would like you to just give us some practical steps people need to prepare themselves ahead the 2026 new tax.
The first practical steps is don't panic. Tax is a legal exercise. It's done everywhere in the world. Number 2, find out if you are taxable. Number 3, get a tax ID. Number 4, understand the calculation, and if you don't understand it from self-study, ask a tax consultant. They will put you and guide you through, right?
Yes.
And majorly, especially for people that are freelancers, also you are earning money on your own, you're not earning, when you're working in a company, it's easier for them to go and file
pay,
their returns
yes.
and pay. So you can also do these things yourself. That's what the system is now saying, or is trying to help people to do. You can go and remit this money yourselves. Then another thing is separate your personal account from your business account. It is easier that way, so that they know how much is coming. So when they ask for assessment, you present your business account, and you know that it doesn't bring confusion, right? An example is those people that you have a business, you now pay money into your personal account, and you're not paying vendors from the personal account when your business account is there. That can give you problems tomorrow in your personal account and all of those things. So separate it so that it's easier for you if you have to tender any evidence that to justify the amounts you have been remitting as tax and all of that. So basically that's that. And then lastly, to note that always put the proper description for every transaction that is going out to you, and advise also whoever is transacting with you to put the proper description, not false description, proper description, right? So that the person doesn't get you in trouble, or you don't get someone in trouble. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much. And I'm pretty sure that you all have learned one or two things today. And definitely you're free to ask any questions in the comment section. And our guests will definitely be available to answer some of it. Thank you very much. Until next time.
Bye. Peace.